on? What's popping? What it is? Welcome to yet another fine episode of the Millennial Masterclass. Episode, is it 29, y'all? Is it 20? It's 29.
29.
Episode 29. 25. Talk about it.
Ain't that what the girls say on Instagram?
Yeah, they do. 25. I love it when I see that shit. They be like, yo, I'm 25. Yes, you are, baby. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Right. Talk about it. Yeah, honestly, but it's closer than that. Like 25 is cool. It's like 20 decline. Like I'm over here looking for 35. You know, she over here 35.
Not 20 decline.
20 decline. Jesus.
Nah, she a little young. She a little young. We need about 30, 35.
Now it's 35.
45.
But 35 sound like 39, and that's too old.
What?
35 sound like 35.
But you know, Tristan like I'm old.
That ain't so old. That means that is experience right there. You need to listen to her. She got something.
Seasoned, sorry.
He like the nanas. He like the nanas.
Banana for
the nanas of the world.
That was
the meemaws.
What the hell you mean, nana for fana? That was so gross.
That was that old. Like, why you gotta make it weird? Why you gotta make it weird? Okay. It wasn't weird. It wasn't. Can we just let these people know what's popping in these respective areas? I'm gonna tell you right now, in New York, a lot of rain is popping. It was raining the other day. Like, I mean, like it was almost like, and it was crazy because like it was like a hurricane for like, I don't know, approximately 17 minutes. And then after that, it was clear.
Is that why you were skating inside your crib?
No, I was skating inside my crib because I hurt my hip and I can't go to the rink. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna skate. And I should have been writing and I was bored. So I said, no, I'm taking up the rug. I'm skating.
You sound 35 over here hurting your hip, sir.
What? I hurt my hip.
Look, I go hard. You get injured. It's okay. I'll be back up on it. It's okay.
Did you fall? Is that what happened?
No, I think I might have pulled some shit. I really think.
Oh, never mind. Didn't know that. Sorry.
That was what occurred. Like it was wild because I didn't know it. I honestly didn't know I was hurt until like maybe like day 2 or something. And I was like, why am I struggling to bend and move this hip? And I was like, oh, you hurt yourself. You gotta chill, bro.
You sound like a pawpaw.
Too many movements.
No, it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be just fine. Now, what's popping in Texas though? Like, I'm just surprised that you could even talk to us, that you're not in the pool of goop and you haven't melted. Because I know it's hot as shit there.
Listen, y'all saw I was still patting myself like it is hot. It was like a high of 104 today.
Damn.
Yeah. So the only thing.
Well, actually, no, that's better because it was 106 the other day. So
anything 100
got cooler.
It did get cooler. It did get cooler. Yes, it did.
Bye, y'all. Goodbye. Anyway, the only thing that's been saving me is my swimming lessons. Being in that pool has helped to cool me off. But over the weekend, I too got back on my skates, worked on going backwards a little bit. So I'm just working on perfecting that.
Listeners, I want everybody to hear this. Listen as Leslie's talking about the skating. And then remember that she still ain't sent me a damn video. Okay, I'm not let's just remember that.
I can skate normal forward, but I want to be able to like go forward, transition to backwards and go backwards for a little bit. That's going to be
even changed your wheels
yet? You need to
yet?
Embrace every stage that you're in.
Exactly.
Okay, so be happy at the small things. So
that's
then
what I'm saying.
That's when you really skating backwards, you're gonna
remember that. You're gonna remember that.
I'm literally there by myself. So I don't have anybody to just record me, and I'm not about to just
put the phone on the ground at the rink and do the little thing.
Well, I ain't doing all that. Somebody gonna come and hit my phone.
Why would they do that?
Because
just do a little circle. Just do a little circle.
Put them against the cones or whatever. They'll do it for you.
No, it's not as easy as I make it seem. But anywho, I know I haven't changed my wheels yet. I didn't know I had to do that. Why I gotta change my wheels?
If you don't change your wheels right now, those wheels you got with it are going to be like an 82 or an 83. So that means they're softer. Those are outside wheels. You need wheels for the rink to be able to turn and move. So you need some harder wheels. You need to change your wheels at some point.
Well, we'll talk offline so you can tell me what kind of wheels I need to get. But anyway, after that, I went to a 1-year-old birthday party. My niece Azara, which was really, really cute.
I love that name. That's one of my favorite
Azara.
names.
Cute.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's Azara?
Azara.
Oh, actually, I do like that. I thought it was just Zara. I was like, ooh, that's dope. But Azara.
I like the story. No, Azara.
Say it again. Say it one more time. Say it with some sauce.
Azara.
Ooh,
okay. What the hell?
Right.
He said sauce.
Too much sauce. Ooh.
Yeah, you had too much dip
sauce.
on your chip.
Ooh.
That was just too much, honey. That was too much.
Goodness. I love that saying. So much dip on your chip.
Too much dip on your chip.
Oh, man. But anyway.
Is that popular now?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't think it's kind of old.
Let's move on. Let's just move on. Let's move right on.
Is it my turn?
It is. It definitely is.
Wait. Before you go to, how was the birthday party? Was it good? Was it like a bunch of old people drinking? Like,
let me tell you. Well, no, because they don't drink. They're like whole family dynamic. They don't drink. Even at the wedding, we didn't have liquor. But I will say, the kids did the what I say was musical chairs first. Then the adults did it. When I tell you, 2 chairs were broken. As the adults did the musical.
People take shit too serious.
No, musical chairs is one of those games that, like, if you get down to the end, shit is serious. Like, if you're in that top 3, it's serious.
That's what I tell you. Them little legs snapped. My friend, who it was her daughter. I'm not gonna get my deposit back. I was like, oh dang, sis. And then another chair was broken after that. I said, yeah, you probably not gonna get that deposit.
Like, what kind of 1-year-old party was this?
Okay, but it was cute.
It was a rager. It was a rager, is what it was.
That part.
I would have had to count myself out of that musical chairs. That's exactly why I don't even swag surf in the bar, the club no more, because all that shit is dangerous in this day and age.
Well, first off, okay, 2 things. Two things. First off, musical chairs. I have definitely been a dastardly man playing musical chairs, because there have been times it's gotten down to me, a young lady, and I pulled that chair right from under her and then sat right on down and won. You can do that. They never said. They never said. And guess what? I won.
They never said.
Everybody said. Everybody saw it, and I won. They were like, "You win." I guess I did.
That's cheating.
The first thing.
That's trifling.
No, that means she wasn't trying hard enough, is what that means.
No, it means
she didn't want it. She didn't want it.
Because you're not even supposed to pull the damn chair.
They never said you couldn't.
You're not supposed to
grab for the chair. I grabbed for it. Thank you. Goodbye. And then I said,
you're supposed to sit your ass down, not grab the chair and sit your ass down.
You're not supposed to. They never said you couldn't. Chair as you walk.
Everybody that witnessed, y'all the only 2 that are upset about this. This seemed like a personal problem. It's like some personal experience happened to y'all.
Okay,
and I'm sorry that y'all lost the musical chairs.
No. Just whoever you was playing with was on your side. They must have been friends with you or something. But that's cheating. That's not how the game goes.
It's not cheating.
You ain't learned in elementary school how to play musical chairs.
Because the thing is that if we run into the chair and bump it away, what's the difference of that than if me just grabbing it and sitting down? That's
because the first one is going by the rules and the second one is not.
Because the thing is that you have to squarely be in the chair. She wasn't squarely in the chair, and I said, yoink.
She ain't get a chance to be. You right. The chair out from under her.
Well, she should have got her ass in there quicker.
Her ass that's just all there is. Sleep in that chair and you done pulled it up under her. That's trifling. That's real trifling.
Not at all. Not at all. The listeners can be the judge.
That's why your hip hurt now. That's karma. That's your hip hurt.
What kind of wow?
Damn, Leslie.
That was.
I agreed just because, but sheesh.
I had something else, but I've forgotten it now. After that, just attack. We could just move right along.
Ooh.
We can just move right along. Good God. Sean, what's going on? Tell us what's popping.
Hey, y'all. So, y'all, I'm really fucking mad right now. Why did my nose ring fall out? My second hole.
Oh, no.
You did look a little less popping.
I look like you got games on your phone. I got close and shit to the camera. But yeah, I was washing my face. And I looked in the mirror
aggressively, apparently.
My nose ring came out.
So you have no idea where it is?
No, I couldn't find it.
Don't scrub so hard next time.
And that happened yesterday. And I should have went to the tattoo parlor today, but I didn't. So now I know that shit closed. So I'm just whatever.
It's closed already? Damn.
It closes fast.
It closes fast. Like I've had my nose, this one, my original one, pierced about 3 times.
Me too. 3 for this one.
It's like hella time.
I feel like if I get it pierced and it closes, that's just what happened. I don't know that I am going to sit there again and let you poke me again with a needle.
You don't really want a nose piercing because it's going to close on the first time. Like it's guaranteed. It's
if the ring is in there, why is it going to close?
It's going to come out at some point. Like when
why would it do that?
It just happens.
Your body be hating. I don't know. It really be happening to everybody, especially when you start and they give you the L-shaped one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I realize I can't even get another one because my first one was done at the first black tattoo parlor.
Oh yeah.
Now if I get it redone, I can't even tell people that.
All you gotta do.
I mean, you can still flex and say, well, this hole was originally pierced.
That's too far.
No, all you gotta do is go to one of the Black King Crew shops. You know, seize it and open them all over the place. Just
First of all, they can't even do good tattoos. Sorry, not sorry. So I would not let them pierce me. Like
I don't know that I want to be on TV
at that,
and
like,
everybody see
clearly
that.
This is for the drama. And yeah, I be crying. I cried a little bit when I got my nose pierced. I don't really need that on TV. I don't want to be the Jordan Eve and shit. But that's all I got.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
I was pissed, y'all.
I feel your pain because I like even as being my 3rd time, like this is the one that's lasted the longest, but sometimes when I'm like wiping my face in the gym or washing my face, I be forgetting. And so like it's come out, but I've been able to put
Why y'all washing y'all face so aggressively?
It's not sounds
like an attack.
It's not aggressive.
It's not aggressive.
Protect your T-zone, girl. Protect your T-zone. Protect it.
If you just rub the cloth over it, it can sometimes snag and that'll pull it out. But with this one, I've been able to put it back in each and every time. The other 2 times, not so much.
So wait a minute. So let me ask this question then as nose ring wearers, and then we can move on. Is it better to have the ring? Like, is it more stable to just have the actual ring in there than the stud? Because it seems the ring would be more stable, and then you wouldn't have these issues. Like, Sean, does that thing come out? Does that thing come out of your nose? Like that looks like it's never.
What you mean by the ring? The hoop?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck you talking about? I only had it for a week. What Louis said? I don't know. This is my 3rd day here. So I mean, so far it didn't come out.
That's real.
I've never had the ring. I personally don't want the ring. I want to keep it a stud. So I don't know if I'll ever know, but I still have the L-shaped stud just because I feel like that'll stay in more than just a straight.
Okay,
one, so
that's real. Fair enough.
And mine is long, which is sometimes like why y'all can see it, and I have to tuck it so it don't look like a booger in my nose. It really just be my nose ring, y'all. It's not a booger.
Maybe a booger, but okay. Let's get started.
It could for sure be a booger. I mean, you're not impervious to boogers. What you mean? Like you got some superpower?
I know how to like clean my nose. I know when I feel something. So no, it's not a booger. It's my nose.
Leslie taking this serious.
She really did. Like, who questioned that you knew how to clean inside of your nose?
Y'all,
no, we did not. No, we did not. You
could have
just didn't know. You could have just not known. That don't mean you didn't clean it effectively.
Y'all over here calling me booger nose and stuff at my
Leslie was called booger nose as a kid, and I'm sorry that we triggered
trauma. This is some trauma that's coming up.
I was not.
We gotta have a little section where we talk about trauma.
Were you ever called booger nose in school?
I talked to my therapist about my trauma. Thank you. Is it time for my segment?
Yeah, let's go, Leslie.
You know what? It is. The streets have been calling for it, and you have the answer. Please, Les, take it away. It's time for the bulletin board. What we got on there, man? What's popping?
Well, in our first story of Carisha, please, have y'all watched her show at all?
I watched one of the episodes.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. There's a show called Carisha, please.
Yes, it's with Young Miami. You know, her name is Carisha. She has
I did not know that.
A podcast on YouTube through Revolt. So you know Diddy is.
Oh no, I do know. Okay, I know this podcast. Yeah,
and it's called Carisha, please, because you know Santana came up with that whole saying. Okay, so first episode she had Diddy. Second episode came out last week, and she had Kevin Gates on it.
Oh, sure.
And you know,
did he talk about his cousin?
So that's what we're gonna get to. So. He's making his press rounds because he just released a new EP called Kaza, which is named after his son. And they talked about a lot. Like he was very candid. He's a very like spiritual being, but at the same time, you can recognize that he still got some demons. So it'd be like that little like yin to his yang type of thing. But they talked about everything from mental health to sexual energy to him being a Muslim, his thoughts on monogamy. Like they covered everything.
They talked about him kicking that girl at that concert.
No, they didn't mention that. They didn't talk about that. I feel like he's talked about that plenty of times after that incident happened. But what they did talk about around the 33-minute mark, if y'all want to go find it specifically, Young Miami, I got you. I got everything y'all need. So Young Miami specifically asked about him sleeping with his cousin because she had heard a story about that. And he basically said like how he had met the young lady, they started kicking it, they started thugging, as he would say, which means they started having sex and just rocking with each other.
They was thugging.
That's what he said. And apparently got to the point where like he was really feeling her. And so he introduced her to his grandma. And his grandma asked like, hey, who your people? Da, 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 da. You know how grandmas are like, who you related to, who your folks, whatever. And I guess she mentioned the name. And then his grandma pulled him to the side, was like, baby, that's your cousin. And
like cousin, like everybody say that's your cousin, or like
no, like actually related to him as
so
cousin.
as far as cousins, it's not like immediate like aunt, uncle, children type of cousin. It was probably like second, third, fourth, like in the family type of thing, where it's like I went to school with plenty of my cousins. They weren't immediate cousins, but they were cousins, that type of thing, right? So he told Young Miami, he was like, you know, what am I going to do at the situation? We already rocking, we already thugging, we already doing it. I'm feeling shorty. I'm not about to stop. That's what he said. Let me quote him specifically. He said, if me and you meet,
you don't need to quote that.
I put it on you the right way.
Please stop. Just please stop.
Listen,
this is terrible.
Listen, Linda. You digmatized. I introduced you to my grandma, and then she's like, baby, who your people is? And she says, baby, that's your cousin. I ain't about to stop. The damage has been done. I didn't know you my whole life. I just found this out. We've already been thugging, and we're still good friends to this day. So he's still kicking with cousin, or talk to cousin at least, but he didn't see nothing wrong with it. He was like, damage has been done. We already did it. What y'all thoughts on that? If y'all found out y'all was thugging with your cousin.
Okay.
The reason name this episode thugging with your cousin?
Hell no. Hell no.
Oh my
no.
Gosh.
Absolutely.
Yes, I vote thugging with your cousin.
We can put on a t-shirt. We can put on a t-shirt.
I don't know that I ever want to see that on a t-shirt. I don't ever in life want to even hear that phrase.
Not in that context.
Unless niggas is out actually thugging, and I mean like robbing and like smacking niggas around. That's the only time I want to hear that shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, I never heard that as in like a sexual reference. That's interesting.
That's because he didn't want to even say it because the shit is still traumatic for him. So probably shit is wild. What are you doing? If I
found out I fucked my cousin, I would throw up and never talk to that person again. I would never go to another family reunion. I would never want to see you. Well, I never seen you this whole time, so I'm probably never going to see you again. I'm blocking you, and I would never bring that shit up ever again.
I would tell a soul. That would take that to my grave.
That's the other part of that. I don't know that I would block you. What happened to
Shorty? They disappeared.
They died.
No.
But I wouldn't tell you. I just wouldn't tell anybody about it.
Right.
There have been times in the past where like, you know, you're talking to a young lady and she had a last name that was similar to somebody in my family. I had to go do some deep dives just to make sure. I was like, I need to make absolutely certain.
Yes.
This is not the issue.
That's the first thing I ask whenever I'm like dating somebody. I'll be like, okay, what's your last name? What's your grandparents' last name?
I never did that before.
I
hope I haven't fucked no cousins.
I can tell you a crazy story about this though, real quick. So this is back in DC. I'm still working mobile, right? I'm helping this guy out, and he was telling me about why he hated his dad. And I was like, people tell me whatever. I don't know why they give me their life stories as I'm activating shit. And so he was like, yo, man, I really couldn't stand my dad. I'm like, well, brother, what's going on? You know, I'm over here. I ain't got no stuff. I was listening. And then he's like, man, because he almost fucked my sister because of him. I'm like, excuse me, what? I was like, I'm gonna need more context. He said, this is what happened. We were at a bar, we were out, and we were kids. Because the thing is that his dad had so many children from so many different women that he was never really able to right. Exactly. And so he was at a bar. They were out one night. They were just talking or whatever. And then they were drunk and they were gonna go home together. Luckily, somebody recognized and knew better and stopped them. And they were like, wait a minute, y'all are related. And then he was so mad. He was like, I almost tried to go kill my father. I was like, I get it, bro. I get it.
That's kind of too deep. Sorry that you tried to fuck her, but like, you don't got to go kill your daddy.
Well, because the thing is that the issue was the dad could have enlightened him in this a long time ago.
Well, he probably forgot. He got so many goddamn kids. He don't know.
That's what I said. I was like, he said, how you forget about something like that? Clearly it was still a sore subject.
If you got more than 9, you probably got 15.
I don't know that it was like,
you got more than 9, you got 15. So
I don't know that it
got
was
some people 15. That never told him that they had a baby by him because he clearly ain't shit, and they just took their baby and raised it on their own.
You need to let people know, because that shit is wild. That is wild. Imagine you were out, talking to dude, and he's like, well, and then someone's like, yeah, that's your brother. Yeah, like y'all share DNA. Yeah. Y'all share 23 chromosomes together.
Well,
the fuck?
Speaking of fathers thugging with sisters, did y'all hear last week about Elon Musk's father?
Yeah, that was wild.
What the fuck are you talking about? What? That was a terrible segue.
No, it's not.
It's not even a segue.
Like disgusting.
It's not even a segue. It's not a story I'm gonna cover, but it's relevant. So Elon Musk's dad was 45 when he married Elon's stepmother, who was 25 at the time, and she had a 4-year-old stepdaughter who his dad helped raise, and now he's about to have his second child with her.
It's some Woody Allen shit.
Yeah.
So he's having a baby with his stepdaughter.
Yes.
The second baby. Child. The second baby.
He's saying the second one wasn't intentional, but I guess the first one was intentional.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it need to be a whole not thing. I don't want to hear about it.
That wasn't even part of my section today, so I I don't know. We got off on a tangent, but
Elon dead nasty, and so is Woody Allen. So
yeah, because the dad's like what 70?
No, we still talking about this. Please, we gonna keep going. Like, let's just go to the next.
I know
story.
it's fucking wild. What we got next on the bulletin board? What's next on there?
Well, let's just slide on over to our blissful bubble of ignorance, as Neo likes to call it. So, Neo too is on a whole press run because he just released his album Self-Explanatory. So he stopped by the Breakfast Club on last Friday, and they got to talking about cheating, everything. Envy is pretty candid about, his cheating situation. So it just seems like every time there's a man who's cheated on the show, Envy just goes off of this cheating tangent. But anyway, so Neo mentions how, him and his wife, Crystal, they had like a rough patch during 2020 where like divorces on the table. He was like supposed to move out, but then like the shutdown with the pandemic happened, so he ended up staying in the house.
That happened to so many people, didn't it?
Yeah, but he said that's what saved his marriage, because they actually had to like start talking and start, whatever. So he cheated before. Yes, we know that. So basically, now that they're happy, remarried, in a good place, he says that, and I quote, because they asked, Angela asked a question, would you want to know if your wife cheated on you? So he says, I personally, and this is just me before this makes headlines somewhere, because you knew that it would, I personally am a person that is not angry at living in a blissful bubble of ignorance. The truth is rarely pretty. In this world, in this life, you just have to choose your happiness. So I choose to believe the truth that makes me happy, as opposed to searching for the ugly truth that's going to mess up my happiness. Like I tell my friends, if you ever find out anything about my wife, if she did anything, don't bring it to me. Why would I want to mess up my happiness? So my question to y'all is, would y'all want to know if your significant other is cheating on you, or if you don't find out, you don't catch it, it is what it is? What's your stance on that?
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting
question. He gotta contemplate this.
It would be good to know. It would be good to know, because then you can make some different movements. But though, Neo has a good point though, because they say the key to the life to happiness though is just you kind of go with the flow. I mean, essentially that's what it is. Like there's an old joke, we can go down that road, but like you kind of go with the flow. So if things are good and this would be unsettling energy, why would I, veer into unsettling energy? So there's this, and plus the thing is that he's at a level where he got a few other things going for him, I feel. So I feel like for him, his piece is very important to him. So I get that. So I'm not even knocking Neo for that. But no, I'm gonna have to know, because it's just gonna bother me that like, how did it get past me for that long? Like it's just gonna bother me. It's not in my mind. I'm just like, how did it get past?
So is cheating a deal breaker? Are you breaking up?
That's the question. It's like,
is that the question?
No. That's my follow-up question.
Yeah.
Would you break up? Would you break up with them?
See, it just really depends. It really depends. Like it depends. There's several factors that it depends on, but there's so many externalities that go along with this one. But it could be a deal breaker. It could be, or depending upon the situation that results afterward, it could be fine. I need more details. Like I have a hard time saying this stuff without getting more details. Like I need to know what happened in the situation, because I may feel differently. It may be a situation where I feel, where I feel a little differently about it.
Now, I also understand where Neo is coming from. And I am one of them ones, like, if you're not going to leave the situation, I think you should just let that person cheat in peace. Like, if you're not going to leave, I'm dead serious.
I know, it's so funny to hear peace, though. It's so funny.
I mean, it's real.
Let that person cheat in peace. Like if you're not going to leave, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't leave. I'm just saying, why are you causing yourself so much anger and discomfort? Like you going through their phone when you know you're going to find something and now you're mad. You should have just let them fucking do it. If you're not going to leave, that's just my stance on it. So if you're not going to leave, then I don't even know why you care to know.
But see, that's one of those things where it's like every situation is different. You're talking about somebody who's habitual. So maybe you've gone numb to this now. You see what I'm saying? Like that's a whole other scenario than like somebody doing a one-time thing. And then it's like, when did they do it? Like, was there something important that was going on and that's why you were gone? So then now you didn't support me on that thing. See, now that's kind of a fireable offense. But, or is it like, I wasn't paying attention to you and then I was doing all of this and then you did that? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many things. And I really need to know what the situation is. Because in that situation, you're right. why would I fuck up the thing that I have if they're gonna do it anyway? And you already know what are you doing? You see, I'm like,
yeah. But I would tell if I cheated on my partner, I wouldn't be able to look you in your face and like know that I did that shit and
That's
not
real.
let that shit
that would
out,
eat at you.
know? Like I would feel fucking guilty and terrible as fuck. So I wouldn't be able to live with that. But if my partner cheated, like, and this is just me, like Neo, this is just me. If you had like a one night stand in Mexico or something, like, I don't want to hear about that shit. Like, I honestly would prefer not to know that happened. But if you cheated with like one of my homegirls or like,
see what I'm saying? Like it gets murky.
You know, like
it gets murky. The who is important too.
The who is super important. The who is very important. But like if it was Neo and it was like some floozy on the road and it was a one-time thing or something and I'm never going to hear about it, I would just prefer to be ignorant.
Because the thing is that like if it was like my brother or something, well now now we got to fight. I'm burning shit down. You see what I'm saying? Like
you're not
keeping
that no secret.
There's just too many. Like I've gotten to an age now where I realize that you really need all the facts before you jump out on a situation. You need the facts.
That's true.
You really do.
For me, I would want to know, cheating is a deal breaker for me. So I always want the truth so I can make a decision, an informed decision. I don't ever want my decision to be like manipulated or whatever. Like I need to know what's up, be transparent with me. I've always said, like, if you have that urge or that feeling, like, let's have a conversation before you act on it. I know it's not realistic always, but it's like if we're supposed to be best friends, like we say,
from the hotel bathroom. Like I was thinking about hitting it. I'm not sure. I just figured I should call you because she looked bad, but girl, you bad too.
She already.
I just want to make sure.
I'm like, the fuck? What caused you? What led to you being there? But at the same time, if you want to go do that, then we can break up right now. You can go do your thing, Playboy, because I can go do mine too. But it's like it's the deal breaker for me. So it's like I don't want to live in this ignorant, blissful bubble. Like you don't have to tell me like everything that's like you think or that's on your mind. But with something like that, like don't lie to me, don't keep it from me. Like I need to know what's up. So what
if I forgot about it? I forgot.
You ain't forget about it.
Like what?
No,
you just took it too far, bro.
This is sounding very Tristan third trimester Thomas-ish, like him and
Chloe's
dynamic. Like I'm always let you come back. Like no, absolutely.
I don't know about all of that. That's a little wild for me. I do try to support all Tristans though, but Tristan Thompson makes it very tough. He makes it very tough.
Anyway, moving right along to what I like to call living La Vida Loca for real. Ooh. Have y'all heard about what's going on with Ricky Martin?
Another family fucker.
I know that the Menudo documentary came out recently, which looked good. I haven't watched it yet.
That's all I heard
talking about that. So basically, Ricky Martin has been confronted with a temporary restraining order, along with further claims of violence from a supposed 7-month intimate affair that he had with his 21-year-old nephew. Just let that sink in for a second.
No,
I don't want to let that sink in.
Not let that sink in. Let's just move on. Why are these people doing this shit?
I don't even want to speak his name.
Put him under the jail.
That's
like
what's
going on?
Hell. That upsets the hell out of me. I don't know.
Okay, so
I know they both grown, but like.
So a hearing has been set for July 21st in Puerto Rico. So coming up, what is that? Tomorrow, the next day? My days running together. I don't know what today is. Anyway, saying that if domestic abuse with a relative is a felony, which he's charged with, he could be looking at nearly 50-year sentence if he's found guilty. But of course, Martin's lawyer said that he never had any type of sexual or romantic relationship with his nephew.
Let's hope that's the case.
He stated that unfortunately, he's claiming that the person who made this claim, which is his nephew, is struggling with deep mental health challenges. And he said that the idea is not only untrue, but it's disgusting. So
but can I just ask a question? His nephew is 21, right? Let's say he did have sex with his nephew. 50 years in jail? He's grown. It's not like he did that to a child. Is it because it's incest?
No,
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not inappropriate or that it shouldn't go down. I'm just asking why
incest
that much
actually
time?
Illegal?
Maybe in Puerto Rico?
In majority of states. I know it's not in like Utah and
you should go to jail. Hell yeah.
I mean, but is it actually is it a law on the books? Like, I mean, we know hell no, but like, is it a law on the
No,
book?
it's illegal in most of the states. It's in some states where it's not. Like I want to say Utah is one, and it's like North Dakota or something,
Arkansas or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
you
lot
definitely
of the ones
can marry your
there.
cousin in Alabama. I know you can. It's like,
you
I don't know that
marry
for
your
a fact.
cousin in Arkansas.
I don't know that for a
fact. You for sure do in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, but anyway, 50 years is a long time. Even if he did do it, like, damn.
Are you like comparing? Are you like comparing that's like the R. Kelly getting like 30 years for messing with underage women? Is that like where you compare?
No, I was not thinking about no R. Kelly. I'm thinking about 50 years in jail.
50 years is kind of crazy. That's kind of wild.
Crazy. You don't think that's
kind of wild because they were both grown, and it seemed like, and the thing about it is that because so if you're alleging that like he assaulted you, oh, that's terrible. Lock him up. But if you're just alleging that y'all fooled around, that's gross, and you should be embarrassed. But that's about it. Like you just go on away
for 50 years. You
that's
didn't
what I'm
kill
saying.
Anybody.
And like, how am I going to
what happened to us trying to abolish the jails and shit? Motherfuckers trying to put people in 50 years and acting like that's okay. That's a long time.
Right. And I'm saying I still want to see Shake Your Bonbons. I want to see that song.
I don't. But
nobody cares about that.
R. Kelly should have got.
I want to say
30 years was. He probably could have got 40, but I mean,
but Kel's had like such a long history.
He probably gonna die in jail anyway, so it kind of really don't.
Yeah,
like he just kept going back to the well. Like nigga, look after Aaliyah, nigga, you should have just let cut your losses. You just cut your losses.
I saw a crazy thing on TikTok yesterday where they're like proposing this new way to do to basically do death row, killings or whatever you want to call it, where instead of like the injections and all that stuff, they had like this machine where it literally grabs your head and twists it off. I said that's inhumane. Like there's no way that this is going to pass and be a thing. But
I don't honestly believe in the capital punishment at all. Like I believe that I believe that like if you kill somebody and I will kill them myself and I'll happily go to jail because I'll accept that responsibility. But I don't believe the government should have that power. I think that's a bit much. No. I think twist their fucking head off like a Lego? That's crazy.
I agree. Motherfucker. You got me fucked up. That is the craziest.
Who suggested that shit?
Sorry.
I didn't see that face.
Maybe if you like were a mass shooter at a school, but even then, yeah, I was just being funny. Even then,
I feel like you still need to get your ass beat a bunch of times. Personally, I feel like every morning they should come whip your ass. Like I just feel like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. It's time for those to beat your ass. I just feel like that
probably happens.
I just feel like that's important. I feel like you miss out on a lot of ass whoopings because we killed you. That's too easy for you. Like you haven't gotten your teeth stomped in. Nobody broke your leg. They didn't push you. You didn't fall down some steps. All the good shit, And
then just thinking about people who died from capital punishment who were probably innocent and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Crazy. They fuck up way too often. Yeah. Like even if you fuck up 2 people, that's too many.
That's too many.
Yeah.
No.
I can see it where it's like if you have proof, like when you just talking about the school shooters, I'm not opposed to that just because we know they did it. They
are we sure
killed all these innocent people
because they have proof of Oscar Grant getting strangled and the police got off. They got proof of. I'm just saying that we have.
But that's what I'm
saying. They should have went to jail.
They should have went to jail.
They should have went to jail.
Yeah, but Derek Chauvin, he finally went to jail. So I'm just saying he killed George Floyd. So should we give him the death penalty?
Sure.
Okay, that's real.
I'm not mad at that. Like
you're consistent.
I think so.
If you deserve it, then yes. But for the innocent people who they're wrongly accused, of course not. You know what I'm saying?
But we don't know. That's why I'm saying.
You wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why it's a slippery slope. That's why I'm just like.
But I mean, they got this man on video committing murder.
Right.
We have that, and people still get off.
But they shouldn't. That's our argument.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Whatever.
I don't know how we start talking about the death penalty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This may not make it to the show. That's okay. It may not all make it there.
Hey, that's all right. But yeah, that's all I have. So I'm gonna keep my ears to the street and report back next week. I feel like that was enough.
Oh, Lord.
Get down.
So we discussed earlier, when is the best time to buy a house? I know a lot of people think they know maybe next year is going to be better. This year, you got to buy a house right now. Would you say that right now is a good time to buy a house?
So for me specifically, I think it depends on your personal situation, but I think it's still a good time to buy. If you are in position to buy, then I think it's a good time to buy. that's where I stand on it, because for the last 2 years, we've seen it like historically low interest rates. But what also came with that is historically high demand. So if you went to compete for a home, you are bidding 30,000, 40,000. Like the numbers, what my conversation with clients were just essentially prepping them for a battle to find a home, that we're going to need to bid 30, 40, 50K on certain price points to even have a chance. I remember losing an offer where we were $75,000 above list. We waived financing, inspections, appraisal. We waived everything. It was as close to a cash offer as you could get.
What was so special about this home that you waived that many things?
It was in the right location. I'll tell you
location,
that.
Location.
Why they knew that money would make them. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, location was where it did it. The location was perfect for that client. So that's where we went, But on even when you ran the comparables, so when you write an offer on the property, your agent should take a look and see where a property was in that specific neighborhood really going for. What do they think this property will reasonably be appraised for? And you're trying to get close to a number, but you never really know, because there's another human being that's going to do the appraisal. So I've seen them look at things a totally different way. But even at 75,000 above, I told my client straight up, we're $25,000 above where I think it would even appraise for. And that is at the highest possible appraisal I think it would hit. But maybe we get lucky and he feels nice that day. But this is it. So going beyond that point, it's tough. It's almost your client knowing they're going to pay that money directly out of their pockets. And this was a pretty affluent client at the time. And we lost that offer. And that's what came with historically low interest rates, is competition. Because now everybody and their mama is looking to fight against you for that home. And people are giving their firstborn, their left arm, they're giving you their dogs, or, taking your dogs, whatever they needed to do to get a home.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always successful. So that's where we're just coming from for the past 2 years, that type of battle for a buyer. For sellers, it's awesome. You throw a home at the market, it's gone in the first 4 days. Multiple offers, bid it up to the moon. That was awesome for sellers. It was tough for buyers. It was extremely difficult. Now, the only good thing that came along with it was that you got to lock in a low interest rate. But you know what I did during this pandemic? I refinanced my home and locked in a good interest rate. Nice. So the most important thing to me is the asset. Get an asset that's in a good location that you want to be in anyway, that suits your monthly mortgage payment. So that if you have a limit, stick to that limit. Get something within there. And look at house hacking. Look at other creative measures. Look at properties that have a separate entrance that maybe you can Airbnb. There's so much flexibility to these homes. So you have to get creative in terms of owning this asset. And then once you do that, yes, absolutely. Now you've hold that investments. If interest rates drop to 3%, you've already got your property. Now you can refinance, drop your mortgage, and now you're sitting even better than before. So to me, I lean back to that Warren Buffett quote: time in the market beats timing the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I never heard that one.
And so that's a Warren Buffett quote, but it works so well for real estate, because if somebody specifically for the DC area, anywhere for DC, Maryland, and Virginia, that's why I keep referring to the DMV. I don't know if y'all listeners always catch that reference, but
they better know. They better know.
But yeah, just specifically even for the DMV, if somebody tells you they bought their home in 2007, which is at the top of that market, and you fast forward to 2022, I can almost close my eyes and know that they have equity in their property. They've got a good, nice chunk in there. They've probably gotten a nice little bump in appreciation, depending on the vast majority of properties have seen appreciation from that point. Now they went down, then they came back up. So they made their cyclical turn. So to me, it's about getting an asset that you feel comfortable about owning for the long haul, and then holding that asset and either living in it yourself, renting part of it out, renting all of it out, or depending on what you feel comfortable for as an individual and potentially a real estate investor.
Okay, this is not on the docket, but I did want to ask this for a personal reason. What would you, it sounds like you're a fan of refinancing. So would you recommend that people refinance in a certain amount of years, maybe after the first 3, before the first 5?
And I think we
can talk about this separate, but I just
need
to know.
I can touch on that because
I'm asking for myself.
So I dropped, my interest rate went from like a 4.5 or 4.35 to a 2.9. So I took advantage during that time period, but I also looked at all the numbers. I looked at how much the refinance would cost me, how much it would save me each and every month. What, like when I refinance, if I'm going back, if I talked to my lender, we could drop to 27 years or we could do 30. I looked at the pluses and minuses versus that. And I took all those numbers, put the refi numbers on one side and my current mortgage numbers on the other. And I made the decision from there. You take all of that stuff, you take everything out of the equation, you just look at just the numbers. It's not about just an arbitrary time because it may not make sense for you wherever you're at. But you have to look at the numbers and ask your lender. Your lender can provide you the disclosures so you can see exactly what that refinance is going to cost you and how it'll benefit you. And then you can pull your current monthly mortgage numbers, look at your current estimated payoff, and then you look at those numbers and make the decision that's going to be best for you in that time frame.
Okay, I needed that answer. Okay, thank you.
It's like it's a depends answer, but it gives you the actual way to find out whether it makes sense. Because that's what I did. I just because I didn't know if it was going to be time, but I just looked at the numbers and said, look, interest rates could fall and they could get down to the ones, but if they do, then I'll evaluate refinancing again. Right now, it made too much sense to refinance, so I went ahead and did it because I thought, what if it goes back up? It won't make sense to refinance for me at a certain point, so let me do it while it does. Let me take advantage of it. If it falls to a far lower level, then I'll worry about taking advantage of it then. I think far too much people are consumed with trying to hit that big home run that they miss the fact that sometimes you just physically need to get on base.
I like that.
I like that. That was a really, you got the quotables. We're gonna use t-shirt ideas, right? You got the quotables. So since this is a hot time to buy a house, right? How would you advise somebody to prepare themselves to buying a home? Like, what are the steps? If I tell you I want to buy a home now, what do I got to do?
The two things that immediately I would tell anybody is, and they go hand in hand, is reduce your debts and look at your credit and keep your credit. Like, because the biggest barrier to entry, people think that it's like money or your down payment. It's really credit. Credit is the easy barometer because there's first-time home buyer programs out here, and that will give you money towards the purchase of your first home. You typically just have to find a realtor that's a little bit more knowledgeable about them, like myself, or just look at, different banks and they'll have certain programs. But there's a couple of local banks that have 100% financing options. So if they have 100% financing options, then what's the only thing keeping you from buying a home? It's typically going to be credit, because your credit will need to be at a certain point. Most lenders are going to want to see your credit above a 640 minimum, but some will go a little bit lower, some will go a little bit higher. It's just really tough. But you know what they don't worry about? You're above 700, the world's your oyster. They'll give you every product. You can pretty much walk in and they'll lay everything out in front of you. You have below that, then your options get a little bit more limited. Then you're looking at just going FHA, and at a certain point, they won't approve you at all. No matter how much money you make, they won't approve you without a certain credit score. So that's what I tell most people, like an easy way to get started: get your credit as high as you can, reduce your debts. If you've got credit card debt, that's the one that I can tell you right now, work on paying that off. Like that's, I could go into a rant on credit card debt, but I'm just going to keep it into, I think it's silly. And not because every now and then people don't need to go into debt, but it's just, you can walk into the bank and ask them for a personal loan and get a favorable loan towards you, 6, 7, 8% interest. If you do it on a credit card, it's 23% interest. So you're penalized for not taking the time to just walk into a bank and ask for better terms. So that's why I view credit card debt negatively, because most people just accrue them, swipe them, and then make the minimum payments or make smaller payments over time instead of walking into the bank and letting them know you need to make the X, Y, and Z big purchase. But I got off track there. Sorry.
It's no problem. This is great information.
We love the gems, man. Keep dropping them. Just keep on dropping.
No, but that's just my thing on credit card, and it's beneficial to have them. Like, you need to, if you have, because you want to have established credit. You want to have credit card lines that are open. The thing is, you want to pay off the statement every month. You're supposed to treat credit cards like cash, essentially, that, you just swipe it, you accrue the points, you pay it off that same month. You don't pay any interest on that card. And now you just got the benefit for using it, which is the points that you can use towards stuff. And you paid it off, so you don't pay any interest. And that's the way it's supposed to work. And then if you need to make a major purchase, a couch, a sofa, something, a car, go to the bank, ask for a loan, and they'll give you those favorable terms. And those loans won't be looked as negatively as credit card debt. Credit card debt is looked very unfavorably to lenders. So I guess they feel the same way I do.
What about student loan debt? Is that a big factor? I know, like, a lot of people think they need to pay off loans first before purchasing a house.
It obviously depends. It obviously clearly depends on how much student loan debt you have, because that's all weighed differently. But every lender is going to weigh student loan debt differently. And I don't want to go too much into the mortgage side of things, because that's really a different world. And what I try to do is surround myself with the best lenders so that they can do their job in an expert manner, and I can focus on being the best agent I can be. What I'll tell most people is, once you talk to the lender, they'll assess your student loans. They'll take a look at your monthly payment and what you're paying, and they'll figure out how to calculate that against your debt. That shouldn't hold you up from buying a home. That's going to be factored into the equation of what you can afford on a month-to-month basis.
Can you repeat that one more time? That should not stop you from buying a home. Because I hear that so much when I tell people that I purchased a home. They're like, "Oh, you don't have any student loan debt?" Yeah. Did you pay it off?
No.
I'm probably not going to be honest. It's like,
hello.
Just kidding. If they hear me. But
there's different programs that allow you to roll your student loans. I mean, in Maryland anyway, they have a program called the Maryland Smart Buy, where that'll roll your student loan, like up to $30,000 of your student loans into the purchase of your home. So that way, if your student loan debt was on 8% interest, but your home's about to be on a 5, 6, 4, whatever that number is, you can now roll that into your home purchase, and now your student loan debt free. If your home appreciates, now your home paid off your student loans.
Oh wow!
So there's different ways to do it. Like, to look into that stuff.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's dope.
Right. I'm like, wait, you telling me some things.
Well, I mean, you got to have somebody that's tapped in with the different processes. That's all it is. But I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to real estate, I'm a nerd. I stay up looking for programs. I stay up looking at, okay, who do I need to connect with in this industry that has what my client might need? So
I love that.
Especially as you start to help more and more people, you end up inherently having to find unique solutions for their individual problems. So, and then once you find it for somebody, now it's a solution for anyone that will come behind them. So it's in that same spot. So when I started helping first-time home buyers, and the objection I got was like, oh, I only have $10,000 to buy a home. Well, now it's like, okay, that's what you have to put down towards a home. Let me already do the legwork and talk to 7 different lenders and see who can help you buy a home for that amount. And then you come back to them like, here are the guys to talk to. They come back with a pre-approval, and then we come up with a game plan. What is it going to look like? What does only having that amount look like in the marketplace? Like, that's what I said, from 2020 to 2022, that becomes a lot more challenging because sellers aren't giving closing help. So that you don't have any room to negotiate that from that standpoint. So you have to find creative solutions to still help that person get into a home, like off-market properties coming soon, like properties that from your neighbors or different teams where you're emailing them your buyer's profile to see if they have anything that's about to hit the market. So that's where you have to go to work with people.
So we talked a lot about the home buying process for individuals, but what about commercial building spaces?
So typically when I go into commercial, I try to partner with an agent that is strictly in commercial. So I'll have clients that approach me and want to buy a commercial product, or whether it's storefront or warehouse spacing, I will go find an agent that I know that's versed specifically in those items and then pair up with them to help that client. So that's one where, because there's a totally different world in commercial. It doesn't even really function the same as residential real estate. Because when you're buying a home for residential real estate, like I said, the main barrier in residential is typically credit, because there's all these different programs. Once you enter commercial, it's really like the big boy leagues in terms of real estate. And the biggest barrier there is money, because you need 25% down. If you're getting a commercial space, you're going to need to show them your income. You're going to need to show them that business loan. So you're going to have, it's typically dollars. That's the biggest barrier to entry in that space. But even on the real estate side, there's barriers, particularly in the access, because when you become a residential real estate agent, you get access to MLS and access to, showing homes and all these other items. The commercial space has its own separate, then you need CoStar access, which is the largest platform on there. So then those are whole separate line items and fees. So for me, I've chosen to go the partnership route until the time that I develop a much more larger base where that needs to become a bigger involvement in my business. Okay. But I definitely have helped different clients in commercial help acquire retail space in commercial spaces in DC and in Maryland. So definitely could help somebody looking into that space. And the dopest part is that they get two agents helping them for the price of one.
Oh,
okay.
Even better.
Right.
Okay.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
Two for one special.
Yeah, Sharon's Karen.
So in those situations, though, just to follow up, like are there certain agents you'll approach for certain commercial properties? Like, let's say that I need a warehouse, like there's a certain person you talk to that, as opposed to somebody you talk to for like a smaller property, like a storefront or a laundromat perhaps, or something.
Exactly. There's that, because different commercial agents are going to have different niches in what they do. So what I found is somebody looking for a laundromat is going to be different than someone looking for just an office space. It's going to be different than someone's looking for a car wash. All those guys don't all do the same things, so you have to have different people in the industry that can help you, and then be connected with those guys, with those brokers that are going to have those 200 unit apartment buildings and the 150 units and the 12 units. Those are all different individuals, and not all the time, but what I've encountered was that the agents that I work with and partnered with have niches. And so once I come across that, I jump straight to that specific person.
Do you ever work with like selling land directly, or like the acquisition of land at that point? Like, let's say someone's like, well, I don't necessarily need a space, but I need help in like purchasing maybe 10, 12 acres, something like that.
Well, that I'm actually working with right now. I'm working with an individual that is trying to find some land in Silver Spring, Maryland to develop and build. So he's a contractor himself, 1099. So you get to see all of that stuff. Play out for their lenders, and it's a different loan type. So again, his barrier to entry in real estate when you're trying to develop your own land and build it from scratch, it's dollars. He needs there's just gonna need 10% down. And gotcha. I've reached out to a few different lenders. We play our part to help them out on that side of it, the lending side, so you get that buttoned up, and then the land part of it, that becomes more about education than anything else, because you want to make sure that they make an informed decision about the land that they're about to purchase. What can they build What can they build on it? What's the current zoning for the land? What does it look like if they ever decide to get it changed? What are the current setbacks? There's so much that goes in it. And there's typically when you buy land, they already have approved what you can build on it currently, and what you can build on it always from that standpoint. You typically have to do a deeper dive to see what can actually get approved if there is any easements on the property. So, trying to find all that information out for somebody it becomes a little bit more of a challenge. So, but I'm working with somebody right now, so that'll be actually my first land deal when that goes through. Yeah, no, that's going to be exciting.
Okay, we love to see it. Now, I do have this question. So I gather from what I'm gathering that you work pretty much primarily domestically. And so where are you licensed specifically?
I'm licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Okay. So with that question, I guess I'm thinking even larger. So let's say that you want to get licensed, internationally somewhere. Where would you ever want to get into that? And if so, where would you want to do that?
Now, one of the agents in my brokerage is actually licensed in Dominican Republic, and I actually sent her a referral.
Hey.
The very first person I ever sold a home to is bought a home in the Dominican Republic during the pandemic and is currently selling it. So he calls me randomly and says, I want to sell my property in Dominican Republic. There's an agent in my office.
Is it Big Papi? It's Big Papi, right?
I mean, you selling a property in Dominican, you might as well be called Big Papi. So I mean, it's really cool, but that's what I mean. Typically, that's when it pays to be a part of an international brokerage at that point, because you have roots that you can kind of help people with internationally, connecting with them with somebody that's reputable. In that specific instance, that agent's licensed internationally. For me, you asked whether I'd want to be licensed internationally or not. I don't know that by the time I start traveling out of the country a little bit more regularly than I am currently, that I will want to work while I'm out, because typically I want to party when I travel.
I feel that.
I don't want to do no more work.
I need you to get licensed in Texas so you can help me get my house. That's what I need.
No, that would actually be fun. I have so much fun helping out friends and family. That's one of the more rewarding pieces of what I do. It's so enjoyable because a lot of it becomes you spending time and just enjoying and talking about properties and walking through stuff. So even the events that I host, I typically have a mobile bartender show up and food cater and I have a conversation about real estate. That's the way I look at my events. I'm just talking about real estate and I'm having food and drink served. Well, it's the same thing I'd probably do if I went to a local bar. So yeah. So for me, it's fun. And so when I'm helping friends and family purchase a home, it's that much more fun because we have so much trust in each other already and so much chemistry that it's we can just hang out, enjoy. There's a good bit of business that's going to get done, and typically we get that done first. We get there, it's all right, there's a property, we talk over the property, talk over everything, and then we just pretty much are hanging out, having a good time. So I love it. I love it.
Just think about it. I'm not in a rush, so maybe in a couple of years, you'll be licensed in Texas. And you can
there's time.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably see Miami first before Texas, but Texas has an appeal to me just because of when I made my trip down there in October. The number one thing I noticed was the geography. Was that Texas has straight flat land, and that allows for easier building. So you're more likely to see me be an investor down in Texas. And if I go and do that, that would probably give me reason to get licensed because I already have all that stuff. But let me not let you talk me arbitrarily into doing
We'll talk offline.
Well, that's an excellent segue, though, into this next question, because you kind of answered one of these already. So it kind of got me thinking, will you try to get into real estate development? Will we see that you have the next large real estate development firm, and then now we're going to develop in this state, we're going to develop in that state, and then you will develop internationally. And we're going to see this compound in Haiti that you've built. I just want to know.
Oh, look,
I love the dream.
I mean, on an honest note, that is my retirement. Like that's to me what retirement looks like. So I have one of the more fortunate benefits of when I graduated college, I started out in nonprofit, and the nonprofit that I worked for built hospitals and schools in South Africa and in Haiti. And that was my very first introduction to the workplace. So I got that sense of fulfillment out of that job. What I found was that I enjoyed like a sales lifestyle a little bit more, because there was a sales aspect to the year of the nonprofit. And there was like, now that we raised the money, now that's like, here's a good we're going to do with the money that we raised. So I do see that like being a full circle. Hey, and because I have a 15-year retirement plan of like doing this real estate piece for 15 years, but it becomes a 7-level thing at 15 years. It's not that I will no longer do nothing and just sit on a beach every day in a year. It's just that my life will look a little bit different, and just looks at just doing developments. There's no reason to not acquire a property. They're not building any more land. They're not making any more of it. So I will continuously acquire property. And that's to me what me walking off into the sunset, just me acquiring different multi-unit apartments or single family and things that create more revenue and more income. So that is legitimately what I look at. It's just being a developer purely at that point.
Okay. Interesting. Like, will we see your name among like the top developers in the world at some point? Because I was doing some research like before this interview, and I was looking at where they are, and like 6 of the top 10 developers are in China. So I mean, I just feel like will you be working on your Mandarin?
Trying to get you out of the U.S.
Will you be working on your Mandarin?
Out of the country.
No, I won't. I don't see myself working on my Mandarin specifically, but you know what? You never know, because I like to travel the world. I've been to the Philippines. After going to the Philippines, I realized, the world is just bigger than our little corner here.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
But I'm one of those individuals, like already having a passport from a young age told me to travel more and more often. And when you go out into different places, I do see myself developing in other countries, like a Dominican Republic, like a Haiti, or elsewhere where it makes financial sense and where I can see myself visiting and enjoying that country a little bit like more often. But to me, I know we're going a little off top. My retirement looks more like me spending a quarter of the year in Miami or either some tropical place, and the other quarter of the year probably in the DMV, and traveling as needed accordingly. That's what my retirement would look like.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Hopefully you invite us on some of those trips. I promise you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Look, I'm coming.
So you're coming to one of them.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. So now tell me this though. So I know like you look at a lot of properties, you see, all multitude like along the scale. What is your dream sale? Like, what is the one property you would just love to sell? Like you were like, I'd love to sell to this person, and like I'd love to. And the one in Chicago?
The one in DuPont, not DuPont Circle, the one in Bethesda?
Was it in Colorama?
Colorama. No, it's Colorama. No, you're right.
Yeah, it's Colorama. Yeah. I want to sell Obama's spot. Like let's go, Obama.
Is that one of those things that like you reach out to him, or you felt like you need to be big enough? They come to you. They're like, we hear you're the best realtor.
I don't think that you are getting access to to they've got to come find you.
Okay.
His DM. You never know.
I mean, you know what they say. They say excellence keeps you in demand. So.
Yeah. No, I think that would come with it. You have to have the resume to sell that home. And then on top of having the resume, there probably needs to be some political, greases, like where you're working, where you have a network.
We're gonna see you at the Alex conference before you ever sell that home.
You need a big billboard right outside the house when they walk out to see your face.
Wait, you know what? That just made me. I think. Would you ever be on a like reality TV show about selling homes, like Absolutely. $1 million listing?
They used to have that on VH1, but it was like a lot of drama with relationships, and it was like less about the real estate side of stuff.
Yeah, but if it was really focused on real estate, would you?
I would. I watch everything reality. Like if it deals with real estate, I watch all of those shows, all of them.
HGTV. You watched the show with the black couple in Texas that flip houses.
Yeah, no, I've watched it. Like, so I've seen like, I'll at least give you a couple episodes whether I'm interested, but I stay for the long haul is a different story. But yeah,
they need to do a
like,
selling DMV with you, like a selling DMV with just like a all like black cast and like maybe like a sprinkle of others. But
look,
we gotta put this together.
So for me, I would absolutely do it. It would be fun to like just let the cameras roll, catch the unique, interactions, the candid moments, because real estate is so interesting because there's so many different people in their lives intersecting for that. But it's typically like a period of time, like, so you'll help someone, but it's gonna be for this period of time, and then after that, you hope that your friendship and all that continues going forward. But all parties have to understand that, like, hey, I am busy. Like, I am typically, I'm not going to go out a lot, like if it's not a special event. I'm going to be helping people and grinding and working on my business. And then if you have a special event, it's a birthday, it's a celebration, you just got promoted, I'll come out for your promotion party. I'll at least swing through, bring a bottle of champagne, let's go, let's celebrate. And then back to the grind. But that's just me. But I would absolutely do it. Like, that would be so much fun.
We about to put this together. Don't even worry about it. Me and Leslie gonna put this together.
I'll be producer. Sean could do the filming and we'll work it out.
And then I love the drama. I'm a little bit of so outside. So it's a weird spot, right? Like, in real estate, you try to avoid and duck and dodge all the drama because the drama typically comes with dollar signs. Like, so I'm like, no, I don't want that drama. So, but when I'm watching like Friends skirmish, I'm the guy that's like, ooh, damn, that was hard. He did say that. And then pop and get the popcorn and just watch the chaos pop off. Like,
I know he didn't. Yeah, right.
Damn, you gonna let him talk to you like that? Like,
just messy here for it.
We see what kind of show you would be on. Okay.
Yeah, you just stir it and then you back out.
Now you gotta be the Kenya of the show, really Leslie.
Getting the blows. That's all it is. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Well, we have almost come to the end of this interview, Mr. Baptiste. We appreciate all the gems you have dropped today. Like, you are just a wealth of knowledge on real estate. Like, we don't call him an expert for nothing, but we can't let you get out of here without a few hot button questions. Okay. Ooh. Got a couple. So these are gonna be, so they're quick questions, nothing too serious. But the first question we ask all our illustrious guests is, can you spell millennial for us?
Don't try to look at the screen.
Yeah, don't look at that shit. Nah, off the top of the dome.
Like, they sent me an email. His eyes went right to his computer.
He was over here like, how do I type it in quietly? How do I type it in quietly?
Hey, you know what? The funniest thing is that is legitimately, I am one of the worst spellers. Spell check has done that to you. Spell check has done that to all of us.
That's real.
I understand.
MILLENAL.
It was close.
You were close.
It was close. 2 N's. IAL. 2 N's.
Oh, yeah.
IAL.
Yeah. That.
Most millennials can't spell millennial, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I feel bad about that one. That's gonna haunt me later on.
Don't let it.
We
it's
named
okay.
that podcast Millennial Masterclass, and we still couldn't spell millennium.
We misspelled it in the beginning.
For a good 2 weeks, it was spelled wrong until somebody was like, "That don't look right. Does it look right to you?" We looked at that. We were like, "It wasn't right." Thank God we didn't. Thank God we didn't send anything out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they actually took one of my questions about the reality TV show, you crafty bastards, but that's okay. So
look, it's a great question.
But that's okay, because the other question is, what would you call that show? What would be the name of it? Because it's your show. So what's the name of that show? Selling Eves? Eves selling?
Ask Baptiste.
The Baptiste way?
Like, what's it called? Baptiste way.
I like that one, Tristan.
I like
Baptiste
that.
way.
Baptiste way.
Probably buy with Bap. That'd be my
Buy with Bap.
Okay.
That was. Are you sure you're not TV producer? That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear.
I was thinking, I was like, that's already my slogan. So I mean, I'd add a drama to it. It's like, all right, no, like, have the people moving in my house first. Like, all right, you moving from out of town, you moving with me, and now it's boot camp. We're gonna have you a homeowner the next night. and next
Oh my
30 days.
goodness.
Oh, so
like,
that's your show. Okay.
Put some drama to it.
Homeowner boot camp. Buy with that.
Credit.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh my goodness.
So this is an interesting question. Would you rather sell? Now this is like for our folks who are disabled. Would you rather sell to a blind person or a deaf person?
Would I rather? I mean, I saw them both equally. Like,
well, I'm saying, who do you think it might be easier with? Because I feel like with those impediments.
Oh,
like,
who easier?
Yeah. Because
it's a weird spot.
Please we didn't come up with this question,
right? Please don't cancel.
This is I want to answer it, but it's a very sensitive question because
that's why, and that's
there's the wrong way to answer this question, and so
that's why we ask it, and that's why we ask these questions just for that person, just for that purpose.
Well, it's a catch-22 because obviously if the person is blind, you want to get them as comfortable with the property, but they're not going to be able to see the property for obvious reasons.
Right.
The person that's deaf is going to be able to see the property and still communicate with you throughout the process, and what they're seeing is just that they're deaf. Like, you might have to write a little bit more. So I've helped a deaf person before in different capacities. I would think either or is fine, but I haven't worked with either. That would actually be a good challenge that I would love to overcome. Like, okay, how do I help this person regardless of what they're going through, but then also what's the best way to help them? And it ultimately is going to come down to communication, because that's the only way that everything gets accomplished is you communicate with people and you find that common ground, and then you chart out a plan on how to help them. So even the blind person is going to have what they want in a home. Maybe they want a home with no stairs, so there's nothing to go up or down, so that they can just be in that spot. And so now you've got to find that, and there's probably somebody that'll be aiding them that will be their guide. So me thinking through that, I don't think I'd have a challenge either or. I think that just for the immediate trust factor, I could probably say the deaf person might be easier because they're going to be able to see and touch and write down. But if you craft out a good goal with the person that's blind and they have that trust in you and you guide them to the goal, the end goal is going to look the same: happy homeowner with a good asset.
As a quick follow-up to that, when someone is disabled trying to buy a home, though, do you have other things for them? Do you have some of the documents in Braille? Are there things that are on tape, or just things put in place for someone to make it easier for them to buy a home?
Now, I haven't come across somebody with those type of special needs, so I haven't had to do that. But the whole thing is being open and receptive to doing that. And so if somebody needed that, then I would try my best to find a way to accommodate. So I say this all the time. I do not say no. I just try to I try to figure out and find solutions. I'm solutions oriented.
Yeah. We like that.
Okay, this is another fun one. So we had a segment on the show the other day about a gentleman who was in court and sang and got a lesser sentence, right? So let's say you were going to close the deal, and a client was like, "I'm going to need you to sing a song, and you know what? It better be good. What song are you going to sing? Or first off, are you going to do it? And then what song are you going to sing to close that deal? And would you do it for us here on the show?"
Okay, so off the top, if I can't sing happy birthday to you, then I am definitely my singing is not going to help you.
This is what they want. This is not me, Yves. It's them. This is what they want.
Look, the Lord blessed me with gifts. He blessed me with intelligence, and he let me know to be self-aware at when you are out of your element. You want me to start singing? Yeah, I'm not gonna get it anyway. You want to hear my voice, my singing voice, and you're like, yo, I don't care what I asked you to do. This is horrible. Yeah, this is all time bad. So yeah, I probably don't if I can't sing happy birthday to you, then
Stevie Wonder version.
Yeah, give it a little flavor.
Yeah, you get a little flavor. Clap it.
I just wanted to make sure you wasn't gonna go.
That one's licensed.
That's Stevie Wonder right there.
Yeah, that one. You can't give them the basic.
I didn't know where you was going with this. I'm like,
no, that's where but that's it. But that's it though. That's all you get. That's why I'll let you know. That's the top.
Oh, man.
We got a couple more. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
5 dinner guests.
5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
All right. I got to choose these guys, dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
So, Jesus. Like,
Amen.
I mean,
Of Nazareth.
Like,
wonderful.
You breaking bread?
no,
Okay.
no, it's not that. Look. And I want to say, like, one, the whole meal's gonna be blessed. Like, who better?
It's gonna be fire.
The
it's
whole
gonna be
meal,
plentiful.
everything's gonna be blessed. But then you ain't even gotta buy alcohol. Like, you could just drink water. And
You right.
That's right.
He's got that taken care of.
It's
So
bottomless.
just
Come on.
if we going bottomless, like so.
So you're eating at Jesus's restaurant. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, Jesus. I'll probably have to go Jay-Z.
Okay.
Gotta look.
Everybody gets a +1, so he'll probably bring Beyonce. So you don't
Oh
need
my
to include
gosh!
her.
Dang, I ain't gotta include me. Dang, I get both of them for 2 for the price of 1. Let's go. This is tough. I didn't think about this because there's a lot of pressure if you only get 5 dinner guests, dead or alive. Like,
Yeah, man. And you
I reached back
2
for the
spots.
dead folks. That's it. Like that. I picked the GOAT. And I got Jay-Z.
Got 3 more.
I'm probably gonna go Denzel Washington here.
From round
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna leave like inspired,
Yeah.
like just and then Drake. I gotta have Drake.
Aubrey. You gonna have Aubrey come and sit there?
Yo, look,
Solid choice.
look. I feel
Your
like
name
there's gonna
sounds
be,
Canadian, but that don't mean you have to bring a Canadian to the actual
Well,
dinner.
well, here's the thing. Like, look, have you seen the amount of like the entertainment value that he brings?
I mean, he's
to our
dope. I
lives?
get it. I ain't mad at you. I get it.
Like just the sheer level of entertainment, and I want to learn like the level of like the pettiness that he can go to when it comes time, but then also on the other end, the excellence that he achieves. It's a balance of both. It comes together in a beautiful blend.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Who's your last lucky guess? We got
Yep.
4.
Yeah.
And who's my last lucky guess? Elon Musk.
That'll be interesting.
Mm.
That will be an interesting
money
dinner.
in this room.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I wanted to get like that. I feel good about my room right there. There's a whole lot of money in the room, but then there's also some entertainment value. And then you threw in like I got my one dead guess because I was like, I don't want to go too far, but I went all the way back with it. Like I feel great. You got bottomless drinks, regardless of what happens. Food is gonna be fire. It's gonna be blessed. So.
Are y'all gonna eat on the space shuttle? I mean, if you're gonna bring Elon, you might as well just go up to the space station at that point.
I mean, why not?
Why
Why
not?
not?
You can.
Why not? Like, I mean, but that's the options that's available with my guests. That's the.
Somebody asked me if I wanted to go to space for 15 minutes. I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
I don't know that you could do it just for 15 minutes, but I mean, I think you got to commit like your day to that. But that's whatever.
I would have asked who all going, and depending on who going, then I would have been down for it.
I see.
All right, cool.
And our very last hot button question, sir: 5 books you would suggest for those trying to buy a home, or just 5 books you suggest for those to read in general?
Yo, Rich Dad Poor Dad, 4-Hour Work Week, Millionaire Real Estate Investor.
Gotcha. 2 more.
The book on buying rental properties. That's by Brandon Turner. And I've got to think of one more.
It can be your favorite book, whatever book.
Oh, David Goggins Can't Hurt Me. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So those will be my 5. Those will be my 5. I feel good about that one, especially like David Goggins Can't Hurt Me would probably be that. And then a bonus one, I'd probably throw in Grant Cardone's 10X Rule.
Okay.
Because I find that book to be very, I mean, the overarching theme of that book is whatever effort you think you're going to need to get a project done, you might as well just go ahead and 10X that, because that's probably what it's really going to take.
Okay.
That's super true. You can't even fight that. That is the truest thing I've heard all day.
Yeah. I mean, anything. I thought it was going to take, because even when I got into the real estate industry, I thought it was just going to be something that just came to me, and you get licensed and it's, crickets. Good job. So what are you going to do to change that? So, and almost every year I've doubled or tripled my business, like each and every single year. So I've been in real estate 4 years. So it's just constant, like doubling or tripling that type of business in that volume. So this year I'm on pace to do the same, from what I did last year. So last year was my best year. This year's I'm already at where I was last year, like this year. And we still have 5 months, 5 months left to go. So it's a positive thing to see. Like, but and it's a weird spot. I physically feel like I've worked as hard as I can work. It's less about working and more about doing the same things in less time, putting people around you to help take your business to the next level. And then creating a culture around you that you want to see personified on a daily basis. And that's been my biggest goal. So as I brought on people, regardless of where they're at, that's been my biggest thing, to constantly, one, be myself, not worry about what people think, not worry about how people feel. It's just literally provide the best value for them and then let them make a decision based on just the facts alone. Yeah. And if you're providing value, it's typically going to be to go with you. So when I walk into helping someone buy a home or walk in and help someone list a home, I'm thinking you're going to work with me because there's not going to be somebody that works harder than me for you. And then gives you that personal attention and then helps you along the way. And then hopefully by the end of it all, we are friends and we can call each other and help each other through all our different life experiences. So that's why I've loved this industry though.
That is, man, brother, we appreciate it. That's just rather profound. I mean, literally everything you've said today, I felt like I need to tuck away somewhere. So as soon as I'm ready to buy a house, I'm gonna be like, okay, so he said this, and I need to check my notes against him. I guess I could just call you, but
well, yes, you can call me, but if I mean, honestly, I know we've touched on this throughout that, like people that are like, I think that the number one thing for you to do is, like if you're really, really looking to buy a home, don't listen to all the crowd noise that's going to be out there. Feel free to reach out to myself or just reach out to your local agent, like a really good one. Don't just, not everyone, but reach out to individuals that can legitimately help you and let them aid you along. Like, and that was like one of the biggest things that once I became an agent, I realized that when you're trying to go somewhere, trying to go by yourself, you're going to fall down a bunch of little cracks that you didn't see coming. Or you could have paid someone or partnered with someone to get you across this whole thing smooth, like in an easy capacity, without all the stress, without making all the wrong turns. And you would have gotten to that same destination faster and typically with more benefits on your side. And so now I don't have like when I need legal help, I reach out to, like a lawyer. When I need accounting help, I reach out to an accountant. I surround myself with those professionals so that I can call on those individuals to do the best job that they can. And shoot, we need that in our lives. And it just wasn't something that I got when I was growing up. It's something that was learned. But God damn it, my children will have that benefit going up.
Say it again for the people in the back. Love to hear it. Either way. Well, again, thank you, brother. We appreciate you so much for coming through and dropping all these great and wonderful real estate gems. Where can the people find you if they're looking for you?
I mean, best place to find me on Instagram at Ask Baptiste. So AskBaptiste. So just on Instagram there. Anytime anybody needs to reach out to me, that's probably the best spot.
Okay. Well, you heard it here on the Millennial Masterclass. If you want to get in touch with Yves Jean Baptiste, you can go up to Ask Baptiste on Instagram. He's there. He's ready. He's willing. He is ready to help you out and facilitate your real estate dreams. The expert himself, the man, the myth, the legend. We appreciate you, brother, for stopping by. You're welcome back anytime, man. Thank you very much.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. Y'all are wonderful. Y'all set up. So I feel the energy. I feel the love.
we try to make it a safe space. So safe-ish. All right. thanks again to Mr. Jean Baptiste, Yves Jean Baptiste. I mean, I say that name correctly because he's a motherfucking man. We appreciate him for all his insight into real estate. And if you have any real estate questions, please look him up at Ask Baptiste, and he will be more than happy to help you out. And if you need help purchasing your home or just have questions, again, check out Ask Baptiste. But aside from that, it is now time for the fun portion of the show. It's time to go outside. It's time to shake your limbs. It's time to move around a little bit. It is time. That's right now. It's time for research. Oh, that was crisp as shit. Sean, take it away.
Was that good?
That was
you
crisp
like
as
that?
shit. That was the best one yet. It really was.
Oh, yeah. I got to say, I got to remember how I did that. Okay. But first up on our docket, we're going to discuss some music. And Mr. Blissful Bubble of Ignorance himself just dropped a new project.
Did you get through the whole thing?
Neo, in case you didn't know, Neo dropped a new album called Self-Explanatory. Have you guys listened to it?
I didn't get through the whole thing yet.
Like
I've heard some songs.
Yesterday.
It's good.
I listened yesterday. I enjoyed it. It was really
give it a
good.
number 1 to 10.
Yeah, for real.
I'll give it a strong 7.5 to 8, right around there.
That's like a rating where
That's
we play
solid.
like a most people, like you can play that in most settings. So you're
A
sure
7
about
or
that
8?
rating?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
solid.
like I can play that in most settings.
Those are definitely safe songs. Like when you the DJ and you gotta get the
That's
songs.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're talking about we can
play
put this
that.
shit in rotation right now.
Yeah,
I didn't skip any because I listened to it twice and I didn't skip any.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure, like as I went back through it, like I really enjoyed these songs and I didn't skip. So I'm like, okay, this is a solid album. I like it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
respect
like
that.
anything by Neo more than I like his first album.
Oh, in my own words. Oh my
Man,
god,
that's literally one of my favorite albums in this world. Like
I know you
every
Stay.
fucking song.
there is
That's-
no song named "Stay" that is bad, and he just
That's a solid point right
Baby,
there.
won't you just stay? Yeah, you're right. You're
Rihanna,
right.
Stay. Every
You're right.
you onto
You're
something.
right.
You onto
Jodeci,
something.
"Stay." Come on now.
Yeah, that's what I was just singing. Yeah.
Oh
you're
yeah,
right.
I thought you were
Okay.
singing Neo "Stay," but then I'm like, you're right. That was fast.
Yeah,
You're
and that
You're
is what
right,
she
you're
was
right.
saying. I didn't want to hit that note though. I couldn't get into it.
But
But Tristan, you listened to it a little bit and you're like,
I did. I heard a
Gotta
couple
run
of
it
the
back.
songs on there. Honestly, I hadn't found a favorite song yet, so I will have to go through it in its entirety. But I mean, I like what he was trying to do with it. And honestly, I like it better than his last album. The one with She Knows on it. I forget the name of that album. I
agree.
just cannot call it. But like, it's not quite as like I feel like he's not quite chasing the top 40 for this one as much, and he's kind of more back to making music, which I like a lot.
okay,
So,
yeah. Okay.
He said he's been working on it since like 2018, I believe, and then pandemic happened and stuff like that. So he's put some time and thought into this, and of course, like everything that was happening with him and his wife is reflected on this album as well. But
this is
it was
it's
solid.
grown. That's why it's grown.
I would hate if
Mhm.
my significant other made an album or like multiple songs that were a single about them cheating on me. Now we always got to talk about this shit. Like that is so embarrassing. Oh my God.
I mean, is it or is it iconic? Because I mean, you got Beyonce and then
Well,
Jay-Z put out 444.
but it
And
depends
then the
on how
Carters.
good the album is because Robin Thicke tried that with Paula and that shit was terrible.
It was
So
terrible.
it has to be a good album at least.
Paula, you know what? I always try to set up my guy Robin Thicke. Look, I went back through Paula, and you know what? It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It really
You
wasn't. It
motherfucking
really
lying.
wasn't.
You know you lying.
It really was. Look,
You know you lying.
You know if some shit's whack, I'll be the first person. to
Name
say
3
the shit.
songs on that joint you like.
I can't name them all,
Right.
but I can tell you that when I went through the album, I did like a couple of tunes. Like I remember liking 3 or 4 songs right off top, and I was like, "Okay, Rob, I see you, bro."
I
Okay.
personally liked Robin's music when he had Paula in his life versus when he did. To me, his songs are
I
better
mean,
when
one
he
of my
was with
favorite
Paula.
songs that people sleep on is "Love and War" from Robin Thicke. That's my shit. Right
Oh,
there.
I thought you was gonna say Tamar Braxton.
Love After War.
Tamar.
No,
Oh,
I'm
you-
sorry, Love After War. Love After War. You're
Love
right.
After War. Yeah, I remember that one. Yep.
To you, love after
Mhm.
war. Ooh, that song was
Mhm.
fire.
Oh,
And then you got a little calypso to it.
That was a
Oh,
good one.
it's smooth. Yeah, you can
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
you can bachata to that song. Yeah, that song's smooth.
Come on, bachata.
Not you could bachata. That's
Love it.
the standard. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, you get your 4 steps in on there. No, that song is smooth. Y'all need to check that out. Love After War.
Maybe,
The
maybe,
video's nice.
maybe.
The visuals are dope. You could just throw it on whenever. Oh yeah.
This became a
Up
Robin
next on
Thicke
the
stand
docket.
account.
We're gonna discuss movies. Have you guys seen Thor?
Yeah, yes. I did see it. It was good.
What? No, is Thor a Marvel?
Wait, why you sound like that?
It's good. It's good. It's just that I really need to see it again because I feel like when I saw it, I didn't really get to see it when I was in the best space. Like I was tired, and I felt like I didn't truly get to appreciate the movie. So, and then I didn't see it in IMAX either. So that's the other problem. So I need to go back and see it in IMAX, and then I feel like I'm gonna be like, yeah, Thor, love it. But no, it was good. It was good as shit. It was.
This is my favorite.
I need numbers. What y'all giving this on Rotten Tomatoes? On Rotten Millennial Class.
I'm gonna put an 8 on it. I'm gonna put a hard 8 on it. A hard 8.
I was gonna give it like 8, a hard 8. I was gonna give it like an 8.5, 9.
Yeah,
I like doing halves, but this is my favorite Thor yet. I feel like this one and the one before were my favorite out of all of them just because of the director. Like I feel like he gets it. I laughed a lot. It's a spoiler alert. I laughed a lot, especially with the goats, the screaming goats. Like whoever thought about that? Like I was dying every time they screamed, especially when they like hit the planet. You thought they were gonna go into the planet, they really hit them. When I tell you, I screamed literally in the theater. Oh my god!
But it was. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was so much comedy in there, along with like the storyline and everything like that. And I can see the setup for the next one and everything. Like I thought it was good. I thought it was the best story yet.
I know. I'll give you that, but the only reason is it's funny that you say that you love the comedy, right? Because that's a lot of Marvel fans like thing. Like they were like, yeah, there's a little too much comedy. Like I mean, my Marvel chats were like on fire with this. They were over here like, okay, he's funny, but like, bro, this is not a sketch comedy show. This is a Marvel movie. We're gonna need a little more, a little more gusto. But I felt like they gave you plenty of gusto in that movie. They had some dope special effects.
I think so.
You had a lot of your favorite characters return. So I mean, again, it's a hard 8. Hard 8.
Why you say it like that?
So moving right along from that.
I just want people to know that's where it belongs. That's where it belongs. Like it doesn't need to leave 8. Don't need to go past 9. Just in 8.
In 8, hard 8.
Lord.
Why y'all got to make it weird?
Why
anyway. Do people still say that?
I suppose they do.
Pause.
I'm sure someone says it.
They be saying on the Breakfast Club.
They just goofy.
They be cracking me up. I ain't gonna lie. My mama be laughing at them every time they start to get a little gay. But anyway.
Every time they start to get a little gay. I love that. Every time they start to get a little gay. But I know that you guys have been dying to talk about the Bachelorette.
I ain't dying to talk about it.
What the fuck that should have been about?
You had been dying to talk about it. You
was all hype talking about it. Don't front on the podcast.
No. Can I front
on the podcast?
Can I speak for myself, please? Is that all right?
You gonna lie?
Is that what the fuck? Hold up. Let me go ahead. Let me break it down. Let me break it down.
Last night.
I did. But now let me explain. The reason that I really am trying to support is because yes, I went to high school with that lady. So I would like to support her because I feel that if I put out a project, I would hope she'd be like, you know what? He was cool. I should watch. I go ahead and support his project. That's all I'm saying.
Name. Who you talking about? Say the lady name.
Miss Gabby Wendy. Miss Gabriella.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Anyway, she's always a real nice lady. And so, but the show is
hilarious.
I forget Black Girl?
Gabby. No.
What? No.
Definitely.
She's hilarious though. Like I loved her last season with Clay, and I knew from jump I was like, oh, I F with Gabby because she's hilarious.
No. They're funny, and like they're good. They're good on camera and everything. It's just that the show is so fucking fake. Like the Bachelorette in that series is just so wild to me because like you have the school of thought where they're like, okay, these people really believe this, and the producers are just manipulating them. I just feel like there's so many things that are just fake as fuck on there. So like if maybe the Bachelorettes are in on all the things the producers are doing or whatever, but there are times where like she's talking to the guy, she's like, oh yeah, oh my God, this is great. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. They told you this shit 5 minutes ago, and now you over here acting what little skills you have and trying to act. Like, stop this shit. Like, just come on, just call it a sitcom, and we don't want to pay real actors. Sitcom. Just fucking say it. Just say it's a sitcom. We don't want to pay real actors.
I think how they decided to do it this season is extremely messy. Like the fact that they have 2 Bachelorettes in one season. I feel like if they were definitely going to do that, they should have had a clean separation of like, these sets of guys are strictly for Gabby and these guys are strictly for Rachel, because it's intermixing and interkissing and intermingling.
And you heard that shit with the
they switching girls? Like I was here for Gabby.
Well, because you have to be able to.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
To be able to.
And like one guy, like Rachel was talking to the guy, they end up kissing, and like 5 minutes later, he's talking to Gabby and they end up kissing. And then Rachel tells Gabby,
Rachel from the other season?
Yeah.
No, not Rachel Lindsay, not the black.
Oh, no, not Rachel. You know, she married. She's still married to her guy. But it's Rachel from last season. Her and Gabby were like the last couple contenders or whatever. And it was drama because Clayton ended up sleeping with like 2 out of the 3 girls. And he wanted the girl that he didn't sleep with. So it was like a lot of drama surrounding that.
Okay.
It be that way sometimes. It happens.
Oh, God. Spoken from
but yeah.
Hater.
Anyway. Yeah.
This show is wild. It's wild. It's fucking wild. No,
yeah.
And what's really ridiculous is like, so like with the roses now, you know how to get the shits out, right? They're like, oh, and by the way, these roses are from both of us. What the fuck? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? And then like let you be the dude that's like, I'm not fucking with homegirl. I'm just fucking with you. You're like, yeah, but the rose is still from both of us. We'd still like you to talk to both of us. I don't want to talk to your ass. I want to talk to her. You know what I mean?
So this is kind of like Ready to Love, but like Bachelorette.
But like I'm telling you, there's gonna be there's a dude on there that's gonna work it out right, and he's gonna realize that I need to be torn until like I'm in the top 5, and then I'll pick somebody for hometown.
That's only gonna be good if both of them kind of like him already.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know. You just got.
He gonna play both sides.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I surely would on that show. I'd be on that motherfucker trying to get all the time.
Even on the preview, it shows that like Rachel's gonna give this guy a rose. And he's like, actually, like he's gonna say, like, I actually want to go from Gabby. It's just messy how they decided to do it this season. Yeah, and they don't really give them any direction because they've never done it like this before. So it's like they're literally navigating and figuring this out on their own type of thing.
This just feels disrespectful to Gabby and to Rachel, respectively. Like, why are you making?
It just seems like more trauma.
And you didn't give them enough niggas to start with either. There should have been like 60 niggas there. There should have been like 60 niggas there.
It should have been
double. For them to pick fruit. Exactly. It should have been a
mind you, on previous season, they start with like 30 contestants, right? And so I'm like, how are they gonna do this season? Are they gonna like double? I was like, no, watch them just add like 1 or 2 more. They added 2 more. They started with 32. Like, really? Y'all could at least get them 50 to choose from.
Like, it was just 32? It wasn't 36?
It was just 32.
Oh, that's disrespectful. This much, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what happened. They had budgetary restrictions. And
they definitely did.
No, and then you saw like they had dudes sleeping on the couch.
Sleeping.
Yeah, they're outside. Like, there's not enough space, so you just gotta sleep wherever. What the?
They was sleeping outside while it was raining. I said,
first of all, they making millions off this goddamn show. Y'all couldn't.
No, apparently
they got some extra cots. They could have got some cots.
The people at the top getting all the benefits, and y'all budget, just
like they're like
making them that money.
Clearly, times are tough around the station.
It's not tough for the Bachelorette.
They must be having tough times.
They got the planes and the helicopters. No,
every white family in America be watching that.
They got money just for dates. They don't have money for everything else.
No, absolutely not.
Like it's good because it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you not just like? I can understand you don't want to give them their own season just because maybe you're like, okay, maybe we need the extra power and we want to do something we haven't done. All right, respect it. They're down to do it. Okay, I'm cool for that too. But at least make the plan feel better. At least introduce 20 more guys or something, or you know, it just anything just to get so you can feel like you really had the full experience. Because now maybe we have less dude swapping.
I don't know. It's gonna be a mess, but I'm gonna watch because it's gonna be juicy.
They kicked the dude out right away though, because he was talking about
rightfully so.
No, not rightfully so. And I'm gonna tell you why, because I didn't like that shit at all. But I'm gonna tell you so this is what happened. It's actually kind of similar to what we touched on. No, let's let the viewer.
All right, let's get a little quick summary. What happened?
So basically what happened is dude came out, right, and he was talking. Now mind you, this is just after they had just been in G-strings. The first thing when they got there, they gave all the dudes G-strings, and then they had to go out there and dance in their little banana hammocks and then like do a talent or whatever, right? Now if that's not sexualized, I don't know what is. So then now they
do it to women every season. What
they don't. It's different. You couldn't pull that. You could not pull the way they did it. You would not be able to pull that. They'd have been like, sex is this, everything. And you know,
so did the women wear bathing suits and shake and do stuff for the men?
Not like that.
No, because the men are trying to when they're affectionate.
I'm talking about previous seasons.
No, not like that.
It depends on the type of challenge that they had.
They have never had a G-string competition for any of the ladies. That was a G-string competition.
They weren't in G-string. It was like two of them that had G-strings. But continue.
They all had a banana hammock and a blur over their crotch. That should tell you everything you need to know. That's all I'm saying. But as far as at the point,
I mean,
the point
they had extra bulge.
That's beautiful. Anyway, the point is, homeboy was just sitting there and he was like, yo, when Fantasy Suites comes up and we get to like the top 4, if I find out that they've like had sex with the other men, that will be a deal breaker for me. That's all he said. That was all he said. That was it. So now the thing is that most people feel this way, but it's supposed to be an unwritten rule that you can't talk about it. He just decided to speak on it. So he spoke on it and then he got snitched on by 3 people. I was like, that was the wackest shit I've ever seen. That was such a bitch move. Y'all gonna snitch on this man? Y'all gonna snitch? And the snitch never wins. The snitch never wins. So you snitched and now you know you basically know you're not gonna win now. So why the fuck would you even do that? You just didn't want time. So you're not here for the right reasons anyway.
That is weird that he said that though.
He was very presumptuous, where it's like, dude, this is literally the second day and you're already talking about Fantasy Suites. Like,
so
you can wait to get further on down the line. You can wait to get further on down the line and do like Susie did, where Susie told Clayton, like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. And that's where the whole big old blow up came from, when she found out he slept with other 2 women. But she laid down her boundary beforehand when it was time for the Fantasy Suites. This man on the second day, if we're talking about this, like, who even thinks you're gonna get that far? Like, you're being very presumptuous. And then him calling them females, that was another red flag. And that's how you know, like, he deserved to go. But
because he said female, why can't he call us?
The way he was talking about them was, no, it was like,
y'all just made him look crazy for no reason. That was a situation.
He made himself look crazy.
No, hell no, that was ridiculous. They really made it out of. They made it out of it. Just they really took a mountain. They made a molehill into a mountain for no reason. Like, because the thing is that he would have clearly they wouldn't have fucked with him and he wouldn't have gone home with a rose anyway. So what was the need for all of that? That just was extra, but for no reason.
You know, this is how it goes, though. This is always how it goes. They always find something, and then there's a snitch that goes back and tells them. This is how it always happens.
And the
to get
snitch
the season started
never
and the drama
wins.
Started.
Never.
That's yeah. Eventually they'll go home, but this is like the Bachelorette formula. Like,
why would you break the bro code, bro? Why would you snitch? For what reason?
They always do that. Even on the Bachelorette, them boys be messier than the women sometimes. Like, it's entertaining though. I watch it.
All right, maybe I'll check it out just for the small drama parts. But that is all I have for us for recess tonight.
That's crazy. And you know what's even crazier? I think we've come to the end of the show. Oh my god,
we have.
Oh man, this was a hot one.
I don't think it's that crazy.
It ain't that crazy.
Yeah, it got.
This was a hot one. It's a little spicy today.
Discussions.
We had some spirited discussions, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah. Anyway, y'all. Before we get out of here, do us a favor, y'all, and reach out to us, man. If y'all reach out, we're gonna reach back. You know, we love to hear it. We love your texts. We love your y'all have our numbers, but of y'all, those of you who do, you can always text us. But you can hit us up on our email.
Don't call, just text.
Especially for Leslie, she don't want you to call.
Yeah, but me.
You can call. You call me.
We're gonna get off on a tangent. Let's just.
It's true.
I know.
But again, Twitter, YouTube, hit us up on there, on Spotify. Check out the poll questions, of course. Apple, we're there as well.
Instagram.
Exactly. The Taking of the Talks. We're there. Hit us up, man. We're looking for it. But yeah, guys, that concludes the show today. So until the next time, guys, I'm Trist.
Girl, Liz.
Shine the dime.
That was pretty.
Thank you. I've been on my little vocals today.
I see.
You took a second to like shine the dime. I
had to get my shit together.
Well, you gotta take a breath. Yeah, you must take a breath.
I ain't about trying to be out here sounding like Mariana somebody.
Wait, talk about 2 seconds. 2 seconds before we go.
That was appropriate.
Did y'all hear Omarion did an interview and he said, "Oh, I think my vocals are sabotaged."
We're done. We're done now.
Listen. He said, normally I have my own sound people, but Mario's people were controlling the sound that night. So I think there's a little sabotage that went on. I said,
so what happened?
Mr. Unbothered.
But what happened?
Himself.
He is so embarrassed because what the fuck are you talking about? How did he do that? That's your voice. That's your voice. So you saying he put auto-tune and made you sound that way? Like, what are you talking about?
He really actually said that like out loud in front of people.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll find the interview going on IG and I'll send it to the group. But yeah,
I didn't have my special microphone, so I wasn't able to
like Giveon.
Oh man.
And Mario saw, he was like, man, I just want to apologize to my team for this foolishness. Like, this don't make no sense. I'll send it to you so you can see. But I was like, bro, you are Mr. Unbothered himself, looking so bothered. Like
Mr. Granberry.
3-4 weeks later. It's a month ago at this point. Like, why are we still
maybe he
about
was joking and the joke just didn't.
He
was serious.
He wasn't.
I'm gonna find it. And send it to you so you can see.
That's just ridiculous. Well, y'all, even though the party may change, the vibe remains the same.
Y'all gonna hear my motherfucker singing today.
We out, y'all. We out.
Clearly, we ain't got a choice.
We ain't got a choice.